Did your mother speak of this realm?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Chortle Games Saturday night live streams. We're doing a third live stream, which is a rarity.
Stream.
A third stream?
Yes.
What? To be fair, our Fortnite stream was very short because schedules were delayed, yada yada yada, etc. etc. But we're playing God of War on the PS4, and oh boy howdy, is this going to be a time. Stephen, I have played this game all day today. So I have not. I have been very busy. Let me just be the first to say, if you are wary of spoilers, leave now, because I am in one of the realms in the game that is not that I had not seen anything of before. So I've got new duds. I've got cool upgrades on my axe. My axe is gold. Like, just there are so many things. If you're wary of spoilers, please leave. So. Anywho, with that said, welcome. Vortex is already commenting. Hey, Vortex, thank you again.
Or counter offer, just if you are afraid of spoilers, minimize the window. Have your headphones in, just listen to us and talk to us, and Jake will talk in spoiler-neutral phrases.
I don't know that I could do that. When I saw the World Serpent, Stephen, I wish we had been streaming, because I literally shit my pants 3 or 4 times. Yes, it was one of the most epic things.
Was it like 3 or 4 separate times in one go? Was it just like or was it like longer spread apart?
Again.
Yes, something like that.
This one you said so.
So yeah. Oh shit.
Boy.
Oh crap!
Voices.
Crap's
You
kicking
hear
off.
that?
I hear nothing.
So the kid, ever since we got here, he's been
It
saying,
was screaming.
"Did you say something? Did you say
Lots of
something?
voices.
Did you say
Ew.
something?" So now he's hearing stuff.
Yes. Kaylin, Jake has been playing this all day. So
Yeah,
he's
we've
been
made
ahead.
a major skip. So, Kaylin, just to kind of fill you in, that guy we fought, we learned he is who I think is Balder. Which, if you're familiar with Norse mythology, he's like unkillable. Like he's impervious to a lot of stuff. Oh, I just got something cool. He's impervious to a lot of stuff, and like, I can't remember who it was. Freya maybe made the one thing that could kill him was like a mint branch or something like that. Anyway, his death Odin foresaw as what will eventually kick off Ragnarok. So we basically kicked off Ragnarok last night. So anyway, I kind of went through a bunch of different trials. Artuas has grown up a lot here. He's fighting now a lot more physically. And we met the World Serpent. We traveled. We just actually teleported through the World Tree and opened the Bifrost, Stephen.
Bifrost.
Yes, it was absolutely epic.
I'm jealous. I wish I could have seen this.
I know.
Bifrost.
We'll see it probably. Well, I don't know. If we continue streaming this a lot, we may. But anyway, so we're actually in Alfhiem. Alfhiem. Stephen, what kind of creatures live there? I think it's like light elves, if I'm not mistaken. Kaylin, it's a 10, man. It's a solid 10 for me right now. I've now played enough to put it there.
Kaylin says, Boulder, hate that guy. Balder?
Balder,
like
yeah.
Baldur's Gate.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry. That's my bad. I'm horrible at pronouncing things.
Yeah. This whole channel is bad at spelling things. As you would know if you followed us on Twitter.
I blame Twitter for that. Twitter autocorrects me all the time when, like, to other things.
Yeah.
Like, I'll say, I don't even know. I don't misspell things, and then Twitter changes what I'm saying.
Look, should we try talking to them?
No.
There was one time
Maybe they need
I don't remember what it was
They do
that
not stop
I was
us,
typing
so they
like
do not concern us.
a tweet for either XCOM or something else, but it took some liberties. And I'm fortunate that I saw what it had predicted, but it was nothing like what I was trying to say.
So I've also learned that Kratos is a real, like, he's still kind of a, I don't know what you call it, like a selfish a-hole. There's been a lot of times where, like, people have asked for help, and Arduous is like, we have to help them, and he'll run off and start helping them, and then I'll show up and be like, boy, we don't need to help them. But anyway.
Well, it's the world has spent no time helping Kratos, so why should he help them?
It's very true.
Should I read it?
Yes, please
What does
read it.
Ask?
Without me or within me, death is sure. Yet within you,
I am currently, as you're playing this, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. But I am doing
find it.
Brodie's Soldier of
Back
the
to the
Week
boat.
photo shoot on XCOM. Yeah.
All right, hang on. I needed to hear what that was. Okay. I have no idea what they said. This world, though, is really pretty that I'm in. It's not got a lot of jasmine, or not jasmine, just like Japanese cherry blossom trees and stuff.
Yeah.
It's great fun, great fun.
It's sad the elves can't work things out. Alfheim's such a beautiful place, but
If you'd like to say hey in the chat, please do.
You
I am
see
watching the
with
chat
eyes of a child.
as
In
Jake
war,
is
a soldier
enveloped
sees
in
beauty
this
only in the blood of his enemy.
amazing
The
game.
rest of him is lost, sometimes never to return.
you know about war, don't you?
Wars are fought for two things, survival or advantage. Battles may be won by the better soldier. Wars are won by those who are willing to sacrifice everything to ensure victory.
Kratos is a real hard ass. Kaylin asks, what will be replacing your Far Cry series within the future? Spider-Man from Insomniac? We'll probably stream Spider-Man when it comes out, Kaylin. Lee Allison literally heard Spider-Man and came running. She loves Spider-Man. We'll probably stream that when that game comes out, but I don't know that we... Like, the Far Cry streams right now, it's kind of like just oh, this is a good thing to stream. I wouldn't even call it a series at this point, but we do play it a lot. We'll definitely continue to play it even after other stuff comes
Far Cry
out.
is one of those things that we could keep playing for a long time. So right now it's just something that we play consistently. Because I've been wanting to play it a lot more than I have, but I've kind of held off on it till it dies down and arcade had more time to develop.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be playing it for the foreseeable future. I can't think of anything else that's coming out that's going to replace my streaming. I will. Well, actually, DLC is going to be coming out eventually, and Far Cry 3 is coming out in May, at the end of May. So I will probably do a stream series of Far Cry 3, depending on how we do on XCOM. We may be finished with it, or I may take a hiatus. I don't know. We'll see. Would you guys want to see me play Far Cry 3 when it comes out with the remaster? I'm definitely going to play it, but do you guys want to see me play it?
Hey Vlad, glad you're still sticking around. Did I miss something there? Doodly doo doodly doodly doodly. All right, so I've got to get up there to hit this, and it looks like there's something over there. I always feel really stupid when I try to puzzle solve in a stream because I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not 100% focused on what I'm doing.
All right, I agree, Kayla.
Thank you.
So we've talked about this a few times, but honestly, you guys are the most interactive group we've had in a couple of weeks now. So I'd like to get your input. We are talking about, hey Darian, we are talking about doing maybe sometime down the road a different podcast, because you know we do our more news-focused podcast and catch-up podcast on Fridays at 12 Central. We record those on Thursdays, and we talk about, you know, the big stories of the week, and sometimes we do some discussion. Like this week we talked about, do reviews matter? Like with the story of God of War, Jake wasn't super excited about it until he saw that it was 10s across the board.
Yeah, I pretty much didn't care about it at all.
So we talked about how reviews do have power, and specifically, we did come to the conclusion that they do. I guess spoiler for the podcast, but the discussion itself is good. We kind of came to the conclusion that reviews matter the most when our expectations are exceeded, or I guess diverted extremely. So like if I expect a 6 and a game gets a 2, that's going to affect my decision. If I expect a 6 and I get a 10, that's going to, you know. So that's kind of what we landed on. But it was some good discussion. Point is, we're thinking about doing a live podcast devoted to discussion. What makes an open world good? I've kind of thought about this question because of Far Cry 5, because a lot of people have said Far Cry 5 has the best open world that Ubisoft has made, and I agree with that in a lot of ways. So we would do a discussion for however long we would want to talk. Probably not as long as our Friday podcast, but we'd still get a good bit of discussion out. We would just talk about like what makes an open world good, and we would do it live so that you guys could talk to us as well and get your input. Would you guys be interested in something? Let us know, and if you have any ideas, like discussion topics that you would like us to do, let us know. But we would do those live so you guys could talk about it with us as we talk. Because our favorite part of doing what we do here, aside from just playing video games with good friends, is talking to you guys, getting to know you all. Like I've had a blast, Kalen and Vlad, getting to talk to you guys. Vlad, I think you and I actually had one of my favorite discussions. It was about Far Cry 3 when you reminded me of the line when Jason said that killing feels like winning. I think that was you. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, we love discussion with you guys. So if you guys would watch that, we'll maybe get that going. Sorry, that was a lot to do. Well, I guess you're just kind of
I'm glad you did that, because I was trying to solve a puzzle and I just completely shut you out and focused on what I was doing.
Oh,
good. So I appreciate what just happened.
Well, okay, good. Yeah, Vlad. Yeah, I haven't forgotten about that, and that you saying that got me really excited to play Far Cry 3 again. And like that kind of blew my mind a little bit, because I love Far Cry 3, but I loved it even more after you reminded me of that one line, because it's brilliant. But we love discussion with you guys. We love hearing what you guys enjoy, what you guys think of games in general. Like we look for more than just, oh hey, good stream, I subbed. We look for more than that here. We like to know you guys as people. We like to know like the games you like and stuff. What movies you enjoy. Like, who do you think's gonna die in Infinity War? That might be a video we do this week. If you guys haven't watched it, we have the Soulstone theory up right now. But we like that kind of discussion. So the board is always open for you guys to throw something on the table for us. Kalen says exploration and experimentation is key, like a treasure trove in a cubbyhole behind a waterfall or a puzzle. I assume you're talking about what makes an open world good, and I 100% agree with you. Because for example, taking Sea of Thieves and putting it up against Far Cry 5. Sea of Thieves was like an empty sandbox. Like the islands may have been pretty and stuff, but there was nothing to ever do, nothing to ever find really. But in Far Cry, you had the Doomsday Prepper stashes where you could find a waterfall and suddenly be like, oh wow, there's a weapon in here, there's money and stuff. So it encouraged you to explore. And exploring was actually really fun. Jake, what are you doing?
Man, look, I have been trying to figure out that puzzle. It's all about timing. And, yeah, I finally got it, so... Steven's like, all I see is Jake just throwing his axe around.
Yeah, I just saw you just doing the exact same throw.
Damn it. I missed that. Yeah, that's a lot of what this game is, Steven. It's a lot of just throwing your axe around and seeing what happens. And for me, it's a lot of going to one place, then turning around and making sure you didn't miss anything, and then running back through the same puzzles again, just faster because you know what to do. Alright, this is probably going to be a big dude. Oh, okay, it's not that big. See how, did you see Atreus jump up on that guy just then? That's kind of the new stuff he'll do now. He's a lot more helpful in combat.
Yeah. Yeah, Kalen, I always find that fascinating when a linear game doesn't feel linear. Like when you don't feel too boxed in or you feel encouraged to explore. Like Last of Us did that a little bit. Uncharted 4 did that really well. And especially with like the vehicle missions. Those were great.
Hang on!
Although I'll tell you what my favorite linear game that feels open is Metro. Metro 2033 and Metro The Last Light, and I am so excited for Metro Exodus this year. Jake, you have over there with you and Brodie, you guys have my copy of Metro.
Do we?
Yeah, I left it with you guys, and I was like, you guys need to play this game so that I can talk to you guys about it, or like use it for a Halloween thing or something.
I vaguely remember this, yes.
It's at Brodie's, I think.
Okay, here we go.
I think it is. That's why I don't know about it.
Yeah. But no, that's a fantastic game that even though it is linear, you don't often feel that linear.
You're not looking good.
Thank you,
Yes.
Atreus.
Hang on.
Jaybird says, proclaim your allegiance to Ice Poseidon.
I'd love
Hey,
to.
Jaybird. Yeah, Vlad, Metro Last Light was brilliant. I love that game.
So saith 6
CX.
CX. Okay, I'm sorry guys. I'm really botching my fighting. I don't like going up against these tough guys who they don't like react when I hit them with my axe. They can take a hit. I don't like those guys.
It's Jaeger!
Jaeger, what's up, man?
Yes! Oh my gosh. Sorry, my mic may have been a little hot there. But it's Jaeger. Jaeger, you missed, we played Fortnite earlier. I love that game. That seems dangerous. Your son is riding on his shoulders and you're just hacking away with
damn it.
a battle axe.
There we go. I was wondering why that wasn't working earlier.
Actually, I don't think I can call that battle axe. I forget what kind of axe that would be called. It's on the tip of my tongue.
It's a Leviathan axe. But I doubt that's what the word you're trying to come up with.
War axe? I don't know.
Boom! Dang it! Seriously. I do appreciate how difficult this game is. I fought some tougher things though, so it's bad. I don't even know what this thing is that I'm like trying to go into. I'm just gonna like really let this guy have it. There we go. That worked out pretty well.
Oh, Kaylin, I just hopped over to Friendly Fire Games, and I see you're in their chat. Really appreciate it. We actually, the guys over at Friendly Fire Games, most of them are my brother's best friends, and I've known them for a while too. Jake's known some of them as well. But my brother's over there at that channel, so often when you see us playing with Friendly Fire Games, it's me and him. But he just had a baby.
So he ain't playing.
He ain't playing.
He's getting some sleep if he's doing anything.
Or not getting sleep and toughing it out without video games. So have you gotten any new weapons, Jake?
No, and actually you'll notice, Stephen, my what we thought were weapon slots have now been filled. Those are rune slots.
Aha, so it's, that makes more sense. I knew that there would be runes in some way because runes are such a big thing in Nordic mythology.
Yeah. Well, I knew runes were... Damn it. I knew runes were going to be a thing too, but I was not expecting it to... I don't know, the way those slots were looked, I thought it would be more for like weapons or something, but I digress.
It's interesting because usually with games like this, like weapon variety is kind of implied. But
only a little bit. I wasn't expecting more like weapons or not, so the fact that we even thought there might be was cool. But honestly, this axe is just so fun, so I don't even want to switch.
Yeah.
Whew, okay, I did that.
So who would win in a fight? Oh, Kaylin, hold on, says, open world games should have more quests that conflict or intertwined with each other. And depending which quest giver you go to will decide your viewpoint for the other quest giver motives. I agree. I love a good decision-based unraveling of a story. Like that's how Guild Wars
Far Cry
2...
4 is all about that. To the point that like I could not beat that game because of how intense the decisions you have to make in that game are, because you literally pick sides and you fight one, you join one faction and the other I think 3 or 4 hate you. So it's a rough decision. Not Far Cry 4. I'm sorry, Fallout.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say there are 2 people you pick from, but they're both terrible, so I don't feel bad about not going with either of them. But, yeah, that makes sense. Guild Wars 2, if anyone's familiar with that game, that's how it was originally going to be. I loved this game for a while. I'm a huge fan of Guild Wars 1, but Guild Wars 2 lost me with the storytelling past level 30. It just got real bad. But in Guild Wars 2, the way they teased it was like you could be exploring in these like plains, and you could see smoke rising from a village not far off, and you think, oh, obviously that means there's an attack happening in this village, and you run over to the village, and suddenly you've got another guy who is a different race who's just exploring the region, and he also sees the smoke rising. So it's 2 different players who see the same event. They aren't told go here, they see it, and so they react, and they go there, they fight alongside each other, and whether or not the village is saved changes the scope of the map as a whole. That is not what the final game ended up being. But it was a really cool concept that just never came to fruition how it could have.
Vlad says the Brotherhood was the only good Fallout faction. I can't remember who I ended up going with, Vlad, but it may have been them. Actually, no. Like I said, that decision made me quit the game. Damn it! That was the perfect strike. I guess I just need to do.
I could never get into Fallout 4.
I got pretty deep into it, but then, yeah, like I said, I just quit, and I haven't really cared to go back. It is a great game, but just not my not something I want to do a lot. Kind of like Skyrim.
Yeah, people might be surprised to hear that I'm not a huge fan of the Bethesda RPG style.
Damn it!
I don't know why, but Skyrim never really clicked with me. I think it was overly simplistic. I don't know. Changed my mind.
Alright, I'm gonna get this.
Dishonored. I can't speak on behalf of Dishonored. I've heard great things about it, especially if you are a stealth nut, because you can do a no-kill run on Dishonored where you just basically stealth around everything. Prey is interesting. It's space horror done really well in the fact that like you end up questioning everything, and like everything is just really spooky because you have to fight mimics, so they take the form of anything. So you'll see two coffee mugs, and you'll suddenly be like, "Is one of you an alien? Tell me if you're an alien." Like I had moments like that before, where there was a box of ammo, and I spent like a good 2 minutes trying to figure out if the box of ammo was an alien or not, and I stared at it. I had legitimate trust issues because I played Prey. So if you like horror, Prey is you gotta try it at least, because it's very unique in its feel of isolation and just anything could kill you, and you never feel safe. I didn't play it for long though, because I'm not a huge fan of horror games, and when I look for a horror game, I like to be able to fight back enough. Like Prey, you could fight back absolutely, but like Metro is the perfect example for a horror game for me, because there's always suspense and danger in that game, but you through using just good strategy and conservation of supplies, you never truly feel helpless. Jake, you were struggling.
I'm struggling so hard. Don't tell me.
Yeah, Kalen, for real. Doom. I discovered Doom soundtrack, and I say discovered because I never actually sat down and listened to the whole thing, but I discovered it, and when I heard Rip and Tear, I texted my brother, the same one from Friendly Fire Games. I said, Andrew, I'm about to buy this game out of sheer respect because the soundtrack is so good. But yeah, it plays really well too.
I want this chest, Stephen.
Is there an upgrade you can get where you can ricochet the axe, like lock onto multiple targets? Yeah, people, Bethesda, I'm not a huge fan of Bethesda RPGs, but Bethesda really does a good job with shooters. So much that I often forget that they make shooters. But like, it's a shame that I forget that they make good shooters, I guess makes more sense. Did you get the thing that I was talking about?
I think so. I need to figure out how to use it. So it says hold aim and hold R1 to select. Okay. So I'm aiming. I'm holding R1, and it won't let me select these things. I wonder if that's the ticket. It's like I need to hit it from here and get all three at once.
Yeah, I think so. If anybody has an idea for Jake to move on.
I don't know where this. I don't know how this is gonna line up. Okay,
According to Jake, according to Twitter, your Killing Floor 2 tweet just went out 5 minutes ago.
Oh well, that sucks.
Weird.
Did it really?
Well, no. Are we programmed to where Twitter just instantly sends out a tweet whenever we have a new video?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's probably what it was then.
Yeah,
Probably just finished processing.
All right, so I'm just gonna have to remember to come back there one day.
Yeah.
To that spot.
Kaylin asks, Wolfenstein 2 any good? It's a what-if story of the Nazi regime winning World War II and set in a modern day. I haven't played Wolfenstein yet. I kind of want to, though. I've heard nothing but good things, honestly. Like, it's a linear shooter. That's strange. But,
was she in a war too?
again, maybe that'll be one of the games I can get on Switch. But I would love to play it, but I have a hard time spending a lot of money on linear shooters that I don't know if I'll play for like multiple times.
And that's why she asked Sindri and Brock to make her the axe?
But if it goes on sale on Steam or PlayStation, I would totally play some
to use it for good.
It'd be a lot of fun.
She found purpose in protecting the weak.
So, she'd help out the elves?
No.
The blue door! That's gotta be the entrance. Let's go!
Careful, boy.
What are they doing?
Don't be careful, be better.
The bridge is up. They covered the crystal with that stuff. Why?
To prevent reinforcements.
So what are we looking at, Jake?
That's a great question, Stephen. So the premise of what we're trying to do here is Kratos' wife, Artuis' mom, has died. We buried her in the first thing, the first stream. Or not buried her, we burned her. Her last request was that her body, her ashes be spread on the top of some mountain. So we're traveling to this mountain to spread her ashes.
And it's the plot of Far Cry 4.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say. So on our path to the top of the mountain, we came into this like just darkness that's like it was just a cloud of dark black smoke, and we couldn't pass through it. And this witch that we met earlier showed up and was like, "Yeah, you're gonna need the light from Alfhiem, which is where we are now. Niflheim, whatever. No,
Alfhiem.
Alfhiem. That's Roman mythology. Kaylin, this is or Greek. Yeah, this is Norse.
You would have been right if this was the older God of War games, but
yeah, it would have. You would have been.
New.
Anyway, all that to say, we need the light. That's the light over there. We got to go get it. Artuis got some cool bow ability that he can like absorb the light and use it. So that's what we're doing.
Sorry, I beat you to the punch there, Vlad. Great minds and all.
I don't know what this is. Oh, I'm raising something?
So,
Okay, so
what kind of games are you guys looking forward to this year? We've talked about that a lot here. Of course, Spider-Man, Metro Exodus. I'm just looking forward to play Far Cry 3 again. But what are you guys looking forward to?
Jeez. Every time I try to do something cool, I end up getting really hurt.
Red Dead. That's true. I believe it when I hold it in my hands. Damn it. And maybe in Red Dead they'll have a similar system to like gangs or whatever in GTA, so you can make a chortle posse.
What is their problem with this?
We do not belong here.
A chortle posse.
Yeah, that's what they call it back in the day. Someone join your posse. That's what they call crews. Jake, you have like-minded people in the chat.
Oh man, Kaylin.
And Kingdom Hearts 3.
Kaylin, man. Kingdom Hearts 3, dude. It's gonna be amazing. Kaylin, what are your thoughts? I was about to say, what are your thoughts on the mini games that they announced this week for Kingdom Hearts 3? I'm curious to know if anyone else is as furious about it as I am.
Probably not. That's impossible. I'm really excited for Ghost of Tsushima though, because that's
Oh yes.
Sucker Punch, right?
Yep. Sucker Punch. That's they've been working on something, and that's it.
I've really enjoyed being a former Xbox migrated over to PlayStation gamer, because like I've learned about the joys of games like Uncharted and Infamous.
Father, you ever know anyone else who heard voices?
I knew
Kaylin
It's
asks.
been over a decade.
Yeah, it's been about 15 years,
dry,
Kaylin.
would quench their thirst by drinking
It's
seawater.
ridiculous.
They swore the sirens, evil creatures singing to them from nearby islands, were in fact their wives and
Just think about it. There are probably going to be
endangered
parents out there who remember when they were a kid getting Kingdom Hearts 2,
stories of
and then their kid
we must focus.
that they have is going to be their age that they were getting Kingdom Hearts 2, getting Kingdom Hearts 3.
Pretty much. I joked with Stephen, or not, with Brodie and a friend of the show, Tyler, because we all played that game together, and I joked with them that we would be 21 when we played Kingdom Hearts 3, and here I am, 26, and I still haven't played it.
That's sad.
You okay?
I don't know if my kid was asking that monster if it was okay, or if he was asking if I was okay.
Probably not the monster.
I need some health, like, bad. I've just been stuck at, like, nothing.
Do you regain health when you hit with your throw axe?
I regain when I'm in Spartan mode, which is this, and I punch things.
It just
So-
looked like you regained a little bit of health when you use your axe. Probably just something like that.
I don't think I get any when I use my axe, but I could be wrong.
Good
See,
lord.
I have so much health. I just, since it doesn't come back, I have to.
Yeah.
Really
So
pay attention to it.
usually what I do in games like this is a skill I try to target first is a skill that gives me longevity where I can heal doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think Shadow of Mordor.
Mm-hmm.
There was the headshot with bows heals you. I got that as soon as I could.
Right. Yeah, that's always a good strategy. Spartan mode is the only thing I know of right now. I've got Atreus geared to where he'll heal me. He'll toss me some healing stuff.
Nice. So apparently they're making a new BioShock. Have you heard about this?
No, I have not.
That's literally all I've heard, but apparently like there's a studio over at 2K that's working on a secret new BioShock. Which I need to beat Infinite. I need to just go ahead and beat it.
Yeah, you do. It's good. It's one of my favorite shooters.
Yep.
I still don't know what these things are.
It's locked magically.
I still don't know what to do to this. I've found a lot of things that I can't, like that I haven't been able to access, and it really is kind of starting to bug me. 'Cause it's abilities or powers I'm gonna have to gain, and it's really bugging me out.
Kalen, we did not play Shadow of War on the channel, but I tell you what, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Like, that was my childhood. That was my teenage years. That was just everything. Love Lord of the Rings. I did not get Shadow of War because it just came out at a bad time for me to get it. When I just really wasn't playing single-player games much. Because I was just more of a social gamer. I will pick up Shadow of War if you would like to see us play it.
I have it.
Oh, Jake has it.
I have it.
I would like to play it though.
I loved Shadow of Mordor. I have not gotten a chance to really play Shadow of War.
Yeah.
I did it for like a few. Played for like a few hours, but then I had other stuff going on that I couldn't get out of. So
Yeah, that was a busy time.
yeah. God, I'm gonna get this. I don't know. This doesn't line up right.
I'm gonna look up how much Shadow of War is running right now, because if it's cheap enough, I might get it.
I doubt
would
it's
like to play it.
super cheap.
Yeah. Ugh. Shadow of War.
Damn.
It's still 30. Cheaper than I thought it would be.
Aha. That was complicated. This isn't even a good chest.
I'll have to see if I can afford that, because
How much is it? Full price still?
30.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Oh, here we
Good
go.
Lord, he
This
didn't even
is the
open it. He
chest.
just punched through the chest.
I know. That's the littlest ones. That's what he does. There's one chest that's really strange. It has like a floating head, and Arduous stabs it, and then you can open it. It's really weird. And like I don't command him to do that. It's not some like special thing he does. It's just he stabs it, and I don't know. It just happened. It just happened one time. I'm actually gonna look because that reminds me. I think I got.
Dang. God of War has a 95 on Metacritic, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, it's great.
That's crazy.
What does this have?
Wow. Shadow of War is actually $28 pre-owned at GameStop.
Oh, that's not good. That's not too bad.
Wow. It's 23 for a pro member. Guys, I might have to go pick up Shadow of War.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at some gear now. I do like that you can customize Kratos. I wish it was more like there's a lot of things I'd like to do for style, but that I can't do because it doesn't play to my play style.
Yeah. Kaylin, to answer your question, I agree for the most part. The Hobbit films were definitely disappointing compared to the Lord of the Rings films. They felt too forced. But here's my unpopular opinion that is going to make you tell me to delete my account. I really like the Star Wars prequels, for the most part. Episode 2 is the worst of the original 6. I hate the new trilogy, but that's a topic for another time, probably, unless if we really want to have this conversation right now. But I think, and Cinema Wins is another really good YouTube channel. He just looks at the bright side of movies. He helped me understand why I like the prequels so much, because there's no denying the original trilogy was brilliant, great story, great execution, ages well, all that stuff. But the prequel trilogy is so much more of a character story in Anakin and Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's blind following of the Order being one of the main things that drives Anakin away, the conflict and turmoil within Anakin. It's cheesy, yes. Jar Jar Binks exists, yes. Midichlorians exist, yes. But all in all, there was a lot of really good in there that, yes, it did have lackluster execution, but at the same time, there are some things that... Oh my gosh, Vlad, thank you. Vlad gets me. He says, I love the prequel too. Might just be nostalgia, but it was great. Episode 3 is one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Mainly because I love when storytelling comes full circle. And seeing the Anakin Obi-Wan fight, how everything happens, Order 66, it was just really cool to me.
See, I started with the prequels, so those I always enjoyed them, and unfortunately, that also means that watching the originals is almost painful for me because of just how slow the Jedi powers are and everything.
How did you fix them?
Yep.
We threw them overboard.
And I ran into that problem a little bit too.
Good thing I didn't drink
but-
any seawater.
I don't know.
Right?
I did love Rogue One. I thought it was fantastic. I'm worried about Solo, but man, I hate Force Awakens, and I stand by this. Jake knows what I'm about to say. The Last Jedi is the worst Star Wars movie ever made, in my opinion. I barely even call it a Star Wars movie. I honestly don't really consider much of one.
Kalen likes the prequels as well. I can't read his full comment
Kalen
there.
says, I do too. They had a script doctor for dialogue. It would be perfect. If they had a script doctor for dialogue, it would be perfect. The plot and world building is great. Even the actors are good. Darth Maul wasn't ruined because he didn't spout awful dialogue. Fair point. Fair point.
What does it ask?
And people rip on Aiden Christensen a lot. And yes, I hate sand. I killed them. What have I done? You know, all those lines. The memeable, quotable lines. Everyone rips on him. But he played the conflict very well. Because, you know, Anakin's supposed to be awkward and someone that doesn't really understand himself. And so the weird delivery, like lines being delivered in such a way to where the actor doesn't seem to know what they're saying, it almost works for a character that doesn't understand themselves.
No.
Vlad says the prequels are good. It's like pineapple pizza. People hate it from the meme. Vlad, do you like pineapple pizza?
I love pineapple pizza.
Whoa.
Same.
Look what we found.
Vlad, be my friend.
Father?
Yes.
Every time I talk to Vlad, I like him more because we like see eye to eye on so many things, like the whole Far Cry 3 thing, the prequels, pineapple pizza. Come on. Kalen says even Hayden Christensen is good. He emotes and just needed better dialogue. And you're right, absolutely. It's just episode like the prequels were great. The films, well, I have to say that carefully, that suffered from really big missteps, but not many.
Here comes a suplex for you, Stephen. Oh, this is a new one. You haven't seen this.
Put him in the diabetic shock.
That was the diabetic shock right there.
Okay. I'm waiting for it. Up. Oh my god, that's not even a wrestling move. That's just that's just brutality.
Brutality.
I can't get it. Use this.
Here comes another one. I love this execution because it's like, this is my spear now. Okay, great. Whew, that worked.
So, quick question for about God of War.
Yes.
While the chat potentially revs up for another sideline topic, which I love. Keep them coming, guys. Seriously. Has there been any more relationship building between Kratos and Atreus?
So we met a witch, and she was immediately like, I know who you are, and I'm really pissed that you haven't told your son that you're a god and that he's a god, and you need to do that. And Kratos is like, this is none of your concern, whatever. So there haven't been anything else. I mean, it's just been good, like, father-son experiences. Like, he's just always making sure he's fine, and like this whole headache thing that's happening now obviously has him concerned. There's been some moments where, like, they're looking over a mountain and then Atreus is in front of him and he'll, like, reach out to, like, pat him on the back or something and then just kind of, like, retract his hand. So it's I think so. I'm
Okay.
still very early on. I mean, if we're going to all 9 realms, this is number 1. So but there's a lot of good dialogue that happens like when you're moving around, because, like, there's not much you can do in the canoes except for travel, and Atreus talks a lot while you travel, so there's a lot of building. Like, that's when I found out that the stranger, spoilers, that's when I found out the stranger was Baldur, was because Atreus was saying something. We saw a statue of Thor, and Kratos said something about Thor. And Atreus was like, I'm surprised you knew who that was. You usually don't listen when Mom talks about the gods. And he was like, I don't. And then Atreus was, Kratos said something like, what, did your mother ever talk about a god who didn't feel pain? And Atreus thinks about it for a second, and he's like, I think, like, Baldur, he never couldn't feel pain or whatever. And so, yeah, I can't speak. He, so that's when he said that, and I was like, oh my God, if that was who that was, that's huge. But anyway.
Love it.
All right, I'm sorry, I'm
Kalen
struggling.
says, Jar Jar, I think, is even fine. The characters even make fun of him. Why do I get the feeling we've picked up another pathetic life? George was conscious of the backlash from the get-go. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like Jar Jar is also kind of a product of the times. And it was an attempt to appeal the Star Wars world to a more, at the time, PG audience, and I feel like Jar Jar was just a symptom of that. For better or for worse. Only on Chortle Games do you watch a stream that's God of War and you end up talking about Jar Jar Binks.
Honestly, it's helping me so much because I can focus on what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. You guys can enjoy God of War. I can shut up when cutscenes are happening, but we can have some real talk. Get sip some coffee and talk about life.
Coffee. Coffee sounds great. So I don't know how to open this door because this is broken.
I'm honestly really surprised, Jake, that I just outed myself as someone who really enjoyed the prequels, and the Chortle fam agrees with me.
I think there's probably more people that would agree with you than you'd think.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the new films? Like, specifically Last Jedi and Force Awakens? I love Rogue One. Like, Rogue One I thought was incredible. Kalen says, I like the golden gay robot and his bear better, though. When you put it like that, Jar Jar doesn't sound so silly.
I hate these flying guys. They're too fast.
Yeah. Vlad says, I've only seen Force Awakens. It wasn't bad, but I really don't remember a whole lot. It was just such a rehash. And I hated it because George had said that he wanted to take the franchise somewhere new. But Disney was only interested in making a rehash just to recapture the magic of the first one did. Which, from a business standpoint, yeah, that makes sense. But they're forgetting it's a Star Wars movie. It's going to sell tickets no matter what. So might as well be creative, tell us something new, rather than just selling out.
Bunch of sellouts.
The Last Jedi was just... They are. The Last Jedi was just incoherent, in my opinion. Like, it just wasn't a good movie. And it was an even worse Star Wars movie.
See, I like both of them, so...
I know you do.
I'm the optimist in our
that.
group. I'm the optimist.
He is. See, we have all three bases covered. Jake is the optimist. Has very rarely bad things to say about things, except for if you are Kingdom Hearts and you are doing Mr. Game & Watch mini games. I'm the realist. I see things for what they are. Jake sees the glass as half full. I see it as being piss in the glass. That is.
What? Jake sees a glass full of water that's half empty. Steven sees a glass full of piss.
You don't see the water, Jake. You just see the glass is half full, and you're like, oh, it's good. And I'm like, it doesn't matter if it's full or empty. It's piss. So we're screwed either way. And then Brodie is the pessimist, who is like, this glass is half empty, and it's piss.
That's a great description.
Thank you.
This is a cool room. I don't know why I came in here, but it's cool.
I practice my bits here on Chortle Games a lot. Not really. I don't rehearse anything. Watch our Infinity War video and you will see that I don't rehearse anything.
They would notice because I edited it.
Yeah, Jake is a amazing editor. Everything that we have on the channel that's edited, like our Let's Plays, our podcast, that's Jake who edits, and it's very well done. Like, you wouldn't even be able to tell watching the theory video that we did on Thursday that I didn't have a script, because Jake did such a good job of putting it all together and making it look like a coherent idea.
I can't even affect that yet because of the chords. Speaking of, Stephen, I think I said this in the last stream, but yes, I do think you should do another one of those about who's going to die in Infinity War. Because personally, that's what I care more about.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh boy! Oh boy! We finna rage out.
What's going on?
Oh man! Whew, they took my boy, Steven.
Oh, they took your boy?
They took my boy.
Your boy? Is he your sunshine? Do you love your boy?
I love my boy. He's a good boy.
Yeah.
He's over there on his own.
Mark Hamill may not return for future episodes due to his dismay of the Last Jedi film and his character. Yeah, they did Luke wrong. They did him so wrong.
Yeah, that's the part I didn't like about.
It wasn't even Luke. Like, I have a hard time even saying, oh yeah, Luke in the Last. No, it was a guy that looked like Luke because it was played by Mark Hamill, but it was not the Luke that I know.
I like how these goons are afraid of Atreus right now.
I like that. But yeah, we will. I will try to film the Avengers video Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And yeah, we'll get that, and that'll be easier because I don't have to. I can just kind of talk about who I think is gonna die. Oh, and interesting, maybe not a spoiler, but we mentioned in the Infinity War video that Peter Dinklage is going to be in this movie, and no one knows who he's going to play.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that. Like even when I was editing y'all's video and y'all did that bit, I was like, oh yeah, he is. Like,
But people have said that he might be Pip the Troll, which is a character associated with the Soulstone, and Adam Warlock. But there's a clip that came out of Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight fighting Falcon, Cap, and Black Widow, and people said that Corvus Glaive sounded like Peter Dinklage, so his role might be voice work.
That
Which would make sense
make
because Peter Dinklage has a good speaking voice.
that would make a lot of sense because he's great. He's got a great voice, and we have not seen him at all. So
and which would give more credence to my theory that the Soul Stone, especially, is something that we already know of.
Hey, you sure the witch is okay?
Just saying.
I think she died helping us.
She knew what she was doing.
Okay.
I'm starting to believe it again, Jake. I'm believing in myself.
I'm starting to believe again, Jake. Maybe that character from X-Men crossover Disney is in. That would be awesome. I've had there's one of my friends who loves Wolverine, who is like hoping beyond hope that a Wolverine shows up in this movie somehow. I don't know how, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I can just tell you right now, it's not going to. But he really hopes.
I have one request for the X-Men in the new X-Men in the MCU, and that is that they get James McAvoy to stay Xavier.
More of it.
Oh, he is great.
I love him. Him and Michael Fassbender are fantastic.
If we cut enough away, the bridge above us should reappear.
Right.
Ooh.
Expect resistance.
Right.
I think they actually acquired 20th Century Fox. I think it's just the deal hasn't been finalized through court yet or whatever. So I think it has happened. It's just the paperwork is being done.
Oh, yeah, Callan. It'll happen eventually. It's not going to happen in this movie, is what I'm saying.
No.
My buddy thinks that he's going to show up in Infinity War Part 1, and I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's very wishful thinking. That is true, though. Kalen says they said Spider-Man wouldn't happen, and here we are. It's funny, though, when you think about it, though, because people have said that the reason Spider-Man happened is because Korean hackers hacked Sony because they were angry and leaked the different plans for the different Spider-Man universe movies back when The Amazing Spider-Man was a thing. And because of the public outcry of how awful it sounded, like the fact that there was an Aunt May movie in the works.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah. That was what caused Sony to cave and play ball with Marvel. And the reason the Korean hackers hacked was because of that James Franco and Seth Rogen movie, The Interview.
Right.
So, we owe Spider-Man in the MCU to James Franco and Seth Rogen.
I thought you were going to say the Koreans.
And the Koreans. Just a group effort. Good job. Good hustle all around.
Good hustle, team. Oh, that was amazing. I love when I call the hammer or the axe back and it hits something else. Oh, shit.
You'll find a weak point.
Ooh! Frosty McFrosty. Open your chest again, big guy. Do it.
Yes, it was The Interview. I swear, guys, that was a legitimate thing for a little while. Just a little while. The Aunt May movie. So there was a Sinister Six movie. There was going to be a Venom movie, which now there is a Venom movie, and it's going to be garbage.
That looks horrible, yeah.
Yeah. Even though it's Tom Hardy, and Tom Hardy has never done a bad job, as far as what I've seen. So it's like I'm torn because I love Tom Hardy, but I hate that Sony isn't playing ball and doesn't want to include Venom in the MCU.
You know, they gotta do what they gotta do. Oh, jeez, that hurt.
Vlad says, "What's she gonna do though? Be depressed?"
Well, she's probably gonna get younger somehow. That'll be what the whole movie is about. It's about how she's getting younger.
Aunt May and Peter Parker are like the Benjamin Button of movie characters. They get younger.
Just keep getting younger.
Yes. People made fun of, well, I guess not made fun of, but commented on Marissa Tomei, his Aunt May, said that she was Hot May.
Yeah, Hot May. Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. That's the worst. Oh, jeez, what just happened to me? That's the worst for me. I hate Hot May. I love old lady Aunt May from the original Spider-Man movies. That's my Aunt May.
Me too. But I understand. I understand why they did it.
Kick him, Artemis. I knew I was going to start calling him Artemis at some point.
Yeah, you've done it already.
Have I?
Yeah.
It's a better name. It makes more sense.
Kalen says his face will be covered up in the film yet again. I want Mad next. Yep, good old Tom Hardy giving amazing performances with only the top half of his face.
Whew. A lot of goodies there. Oh, interesting.
Oh, Vlad.
Oh, there it is.
He says, I ain't really all that big on movies or superheroes, so whatever they do with Spider-Man, I wouldn't care. Vlad, this is where we come at a crossroads with our similarities. I'm all about superheroes. All about them.
Man, I'm picking up runes left and right. Alright, let me take a minute here and let's look at some new gear. What does this do? Oh, whoa. Is that light? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, I don't have enough experience.
It was bound to happen, Vlad. I don't hold it against you.
Alright, let's see what happens when we try to break this here.
Look up there.
Here we go.
Smart.
Yeah, I am smart, kid.
Kratos has a superhero complex.
You brought the main
Yep.
bridge back.
He does. He does, except he doesn't want to help anybody.
Vlad says, never really watched them as a kid and never really found them interesting. See, for me, I've always loved the idea of people having superpowers. Like, that's one of the reasons X-Men, I want them to keep doing them right on the big screens, because, like, I don't know, I've always liked the idea of people being born with special gifts and honing them to use them for good and evil, all that kind of stuff. That's why I love My Hero Academia so much.
Mm-hmm.
But also, the way Marvel does it, they got me with the interconnectivity of the plot. Like the fact that in a Thor movie, you could be wondering what Iron Man's up to. I love that. Also, my favorite superhero, after saying that, you guys are going to be like, that makes no sense, Stephen. Why? Star-Lord is my favorite superhero. Yeah, do with that what you will.
Well, I agree with you. I've always been fascinated by people who could potentially have otherworldly abilities, and my
Yes.
favorite superhero is Batman. So,
X2 opening scene. Mwah, perfect, says Kalen. Vlad says, I've always found average people doing things more interesting. Like average people doing great things or average people doing average things, like just stapling papers. Like, Is that your scene?
The Office. I loved it.
Or are we talking like average people doing incredible things like John Wick? Or I guess Batman. Yeah, Batman counts. Although I'd hardly call John Wick an average man, although he is unenhanced. So, but you know who else is unenhanced? Star-Lord. I agree, Vlad. I do love that kind of story, which is one of the things. Honestly, even though you don't like superheroes, if you do like anime at all, you might like My Hero Academia for that very reason, because the main character is a kid who doesn't have powers and comes into them through unconventional means, but he spends most of the series being capable without them.
Yeah, learning how to use them.
Growing from being the weak, defenseless kid to being kind of the up-and-coming symbol of hope.
All right.
But yes, Far Cry 3 is an excellent example, and I was actually going to be like, oh, you mean like Far Cry 3, but yeah.
All right, Steven, we're going to do whatever is about to happen here, and then I may have to call it.
Okay.
The door.
Because I got an early morning.
What?
You know what time I got to be up,
No,
Steven?
Darian. What time you got to be up?
I got to be up at 5 a.m. Actually, yeah, I got to be up at 5 a.m.
Just supposed to be nearby.
Oh, wow. That's earlier than me, although I'm not going to be that far behind you. Mm-hmm. Darian, John Wick is not from Fortnite. Darian, do yourself a favor.
I wish
Go
I
watch John Wick if you have not.
Face when when he saw that comment.
Like my eyes rolled so hard that I'm like they need to be recalibrated. John Wick is one of the best action movies of the recent years, easily.
Right. I'm not gonna try to figure out this puzzle.
I got you. Yeah,
go.
Vlad. Anime is not for everybody. I'm very picky.
The dwarf again.
Sindri? Hey,
I got you, man.
Hey, Sindri. Could you take a look at this?
Honestly, I don't have much else going on right now.
Look here. Another.
So is it like
This giant's a sorcerer.
the
Her name
growth
is Groa.
from no one into someone that you like, or is it just the the fact that someone who is not special supernaturally
Yes.
being able to do cool things? Like, which one of those do you prefer? Because Jason's
All you're
kind of
gonna
both.
Give me?
Yes.
Oh, I could use a distraction.
Kalen, I didn't think John Wick 2 was shit, but it definitely was not the first one. I thought 2 was alright, but it had pretty bad sequelitis. But we got to see the pencil, which was
that's
pretty
fine.
good.
I'm always happy to chat.
Jake, have you seen the John Wick movies yet?
No.
Oh my gosh,
I
they're so good. But Vlad says, "Gotta be real. I've never watched an episode of a single anime outside clips or memes." Yeah, they aren't for everybody,
How did
but
Sindri get ahead of us?
He and the blue one do seem to travel quickly.
they're definitely worth trying at least once. You just gotta find the right one, because
Of course.
some anime just is incredible with the way they do storytelling. Oh, Darian's giving me sass. But in the means of storytelling and just the action that goes into it. Like, for example, one thing you might find interesting, I guess, it's another anime, but one of probably my favorite anime just all around is called Phase Zero. And it's about basically a war between a group of mages all trying to win. But the main character we follow is called the Mage Killer because he exceeds at killing other mages, but he has very little magic. So he like kills those who are gifted through strategy and just, proper planning, all that kind of stuff, which I'm always a sucker for that. Darian says, Stephen, misspells my name by the way, it's Rust Lord, not Star Lord, get it right. Okay.
I saw that comment too, and you actually paused when I saw it appear, and I was just like, yeah, he just read that comment.
I just saw it, yeah.
Oh, jeez. Oh, wow.
What is Death Note?
Show me more focus.
Oh, Death Note's good.
Yeah. I'm surprised that I'm being asked that question because I feel like anyone who's ever watched anime at least knows what Death Note is. And I don't say that in a, wow, scrub, you don't know what Death Note is? That's not, because I haven't even seen Death Note, so don't hear me say that. But it's just like, that's I've never been asked what is Death Note. That's a weird question for me. Unless if you were asking it rhetorically, and you actually know what it is, and you were just wanting me to explain it.
It's,
Vlad, go ahead, Jake.
No, I was just gonna say it's basically the premise is this boy finds a notebook that he can write anyone's name and how they die, and it'll happen, it'll come to pass, and then it's kind of like what happens morally after that, and it's really good.
Yeah. It's like what happens when a random kid pretty much is given the power of a god to decide life and death, and what the moral ramifications are for that and stuff. But yeah, I think it does. I would suggest if fandoms bother you, which, believe me, you're not alone. Some fandoms can get on my nerves regarding anime, but I think that a good place for you to start would be a shorter anime, like Fate Zero. Fate Zero is only like 20-some episodes. Death Note's shorter, but its fandom is pretty outspoken. But I would say give it a shot sometime. You might be pleasantly surprised. I know I was at one point.
Yep, I died. All right, I think I'm gonna have to call it here, Stephen, because it is late. I know you got to get up early. I got to get up early, so we're gonna call it right there.
Everybody's getting up early.
Everybody's getting up early, but I'm glad we got to play some more God of War. That's always fun.
That's fun.
Well, hey,
pleasant Saturday surprise.
Yeah, some good conversation all the way around. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate you guys hanging out and chatting with us. If you're new watching this, and or if you're watching this after we've been live, we stream, or we have content 6 days a week. On Mondays we do a Let's Play. Right now we're doing A Way Out. It's a great series. We're loving it. Stephen does an XCOM 2 live stream series on Tuesday where he plays XCOM 2, and it's a lot of fun. You can check that out on Tuesdays. On Wednesday we do a Wild Wednesday video. That's where every Wednesday we have a different Let's Play. On Thursdays, we do a couch co-op live stream. And then Friday, we have a podcast that goes up at 12 o'clock. 2 live streams on Friday night. And then 2 live streams on Saturday night. Today, we had a 3rd live stream. So, all sorts of fun surprises. But, anywho, thanks for tuning in, guys. Kalen, all you guys, thanks for being in the chat. We'll see you guys next time.
Yep. Have a good week, guys.
Tuesday. And Monday.